Hey people, so my bandmate, guy in my band, said he came to Williamsburg recently to the antique mall here. Said they had a lot of records. Now his tastes vary from mine because he's very much into the classic rock 60s, 70s stuff. So said he bought a buttload. So we're gonna see. We are headed in. It's about an hour from our home, but you know, had the day off. Figured we'd come up here and check it out. My wife is making plans for where to go next. You can see behind me. So anyway, let's see what we got here. Alright, first booth we found. Looks like a lot of the same stuff, but I do see some $20 for Molly Hatchet. That's a bit much. $40 for Alice Cooper. I got some good stuff, but I'm seeing prices are kind of crazy. I guess I'll take a look. They've actually got some pretty good things here, but when you're trying to sell old mountain albums for $30 and Ted Nugent for $30, $40, $50, you got some wishful thinking. Deep Purple Fireball, $30 really. Get a brand new 180 gram for $26. I don't know, crazy prices. Moving on. Booth next to it. I wonder if it's related. $50. $10. Seriously. $50 for a $10 everyday album. See, that's what I mean. Aerosmith 50. About 30. Seriously? Think Aerosmith is a $50 an album? I just crazy. Alright, next batch we got lots of ACDC. $20 realm, more reasonable. 26 Aerosmith. Alright, let's dig in here. Alphabetical order. Lots of stuff. $9 and up. Kenny G. Looks promising. All right, so as you can see from the intro video, I was at a new antique mall. So we have an antique mall here in town, which I've been to, and that's where I've found quite a few things. And you know, same thing. They got some people that are outrageously priced there, and then they got some people that are, you know, regular, average priced. But I'm telling you, that one there that we went to up in Williamsburg, big place. I liked the way it was laid out. It was easy to go up and down each aisle. It was very, you know, like hallways, rooms on each, little cubes on each side. Whereas the one at our place, you're going around. It's like a maze. You can go up and down this hall and around this, and you can get easily lost. Honey, where are you? And there's stores and little offshoots and stuff. But this other place was like very well laid out. But that first place that I went to, I mean, I wanted to leave a note and said, you've got no albums in this entire collection that are worth more than $20. They had things priced at $30, $50, and more. I'm like, nothing you have here is worth that kind of money at all. Then I go and I find other little bins. I didn't film all of them, but you know, because you got little, and then they got like a box or two, and I found another place, and I wanted to leave a note for them. I'm like, I mean, these people think that every record out there is worth $50. I mean, it was crazy. The stuff that they had labeled for $50. I'm like, nothing. You have nothing here worth $50. So, and then I found the big place. And so that's where I ended up. They actually, I mean, they had some things that I'm scratching my head, and they were actually there, but I didn't want to engage with them. But I'm just like, most of their stuff was pretty average. I mean, I still think that some of their albums for $22 to $30, you know, a lot of their stuff is probably $15 albums. They're not $30 albums, but they had some reasonable stuff. And as you can see from the video, I did get Raise Your Fist, and you know, why was that for? Anyway, I did grab this because I looked it up, and this sells online for over $30. And I thought, okay, well, they had it for 20 something. So I did notice later it was a gold stamp promo. Got the hype sticker stuck right on it there. And then when I opened it, and I need to be more consistent. I pulled it out and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's been played. It looked brand new. Now it had a white sleeve, and I'm like, I wonder if there was supposed to be a sleeve in there, and I forgot to take it out. But then I realized there is an insert in here. So it did have the insert. Actually, it has two of the inserts. So it had that inside. And when I look online, I'm like, okay, it doesn't look like there was an inner sleeve. It does look like it was just regular sleeve. However, and that looks new, like they replaced it. So I look at this, and I glanced at the side, and I thought, it's brand new. It looks minty fresh. I don't think anybody's ever played this. It wasn't until I got home that I flipped it over and realized, I mean, this label's all bubbled up. It's not going to affect the play, but it's all bubbled up. And there is, you can't see it, but there is, I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. You probably can't see it. But on this side, there's a little bit of looks like something kind of scruffed against it. It doesn't have any kind of, it doesn't raise up or anything. So I haven't put the needle down on it, but I gave these a quick clean last night, and I don't think that's going to be phased at all. And so it was great to get this. This is an original press from, what is this, 87 or something. So yeah, that was probably the highlight of the day, is to find a gold stamp promo in great condition. I just don't know why that label is bubbled up on the backside. And then I kept looking. They had a lot of good stuff. They had a lot of good stuff, but a lot of it was stuff I'm not going to pay those prices for. And a lot of it was, I mean, it wasn't great stuff. I'm looking for the obscure and the rare and obscure. And so I'm looking through the stuff, and I thought, okay, here's a copy of Deep Purple and Rock. It was in the teens, and I thought, it was in great condition too. And it's, one of the earlier original presses. I mean, nothing fancy here, but I didn't have a copy, and I got it out, and it was shiny, and it had no scratches, no marks. Brought it home, gave it a quick little spiffy clean, and made it look even shinier and new. And I thought, cool, I get an original of that in the teens. And then this one I'd never seen before, and I looked it up, and it's an import, but it's called Powerhouse. Turns out it's just kind of like unreleased studio tracks and some live stuff. And with all of the remastered deluxe editions of albums, turns out I had most of these already. So there's like a song here from the Who Do You Think We Are recording era. Is that what they said? Anyway, it's got the news. Painted Horse from the Who Do You Think We Are sessions. And that is a added bonus track on the new edition. And then there's 3 live songs that are from the concert with the orchestra that weren't on the album, that were just kind of like by the band. And then there's some other different version stuff. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs. But it was cheap. It was and it was in the teens also. It is I think an Ireland import, and it was really minty fresh. It didn't look like it was played. And I thought, it had the price sticker on it. When she peeled it off, which she had to do, I'm like, this was the only one that had damage when she peeled it off, and I was kind of frustrated. But she's like, we keep telling them, don't put the stickers on the things, put them on the sleeves. But whatever. That was just kind of a neat find. So then I'm going through. They have everything alphabetical order. I did find a Kenny G album that I didn't have, but because I bought some of these things, I really didn't have the budget for even what I got. But it was kind of like, yeah. So I put that one back. So they had everything in alphabetical order, and they had some decent stuff. I mean, they had some decent stuff. It was just stuff that I didn't want to pay those prices for. It wasn't horrible, but it was more than I really wanted to in hindsight. But then at the end, they had miscellaneous rock, and that's where the good stuff was, the better stuff. Because it was the bands that didn't have a large catalog, or bands that they didn't have a lot of. So, I mean, I'm finding like Loudness and some metal. Nothing that I didn't have, nothing real fancy, but I did find the second Grim Reaper album. And I wish it was $4, but no, that's how much somebody paid for it, $4.50. And it was in great condition. And from what I can tell, it does have, I did notice it later, it has a cutout, but it was in great condition. I mean, like, very good plus, if even played. It was just, it was really, really good condition. And it was in the teens, and I thought, okay. I really kept it. I didn't want to pay anything over $20. The Alice Cooper, the only exception, because I'm just like, it's crazy. So they had some stuff like this, just a couple of things, and nothing that I didn't have except this. There were, that's what I'm looking for, is just the little more obscure stuff to try to find at those places. And I'm just glad that they didn't think that this was some $50 album. That place didn't have a lot of those, but they did have 30 plus. Most everything Judas Priest was like $32. I'm just like, come on. You can get this stuff every day of the week for $20. They had stuff like that. They had a lot of Duran Duran. I thought my wife would love that. But anyway, so I did grab this. So then I continue on, and you find booze in every place. And some places are just like, again, you just scratch your head. You're like, ah. And then some places had just junk. Beat up. Some stuff was so beat up. Oh, $4 albums. I'm like, it ain't worth $4. You can't even play it. The stuff is so scratched up and banged up. But I'm walking through, and this one place had like 20 albums. I flipped through it, and I found Weekend Warriors by Ted Nugent. It was only like $8. Which I'm sure you can get it cheaper nowadays, but it was kind of like, even with shipping, you're going to end up paying about that. And somebody paid $4 originally. But I would have to say this is probably, in my opinion, one of the most, even though I know there's not any major hits from this album, but growing up and seeing this album, this is probably one of my favorite album covers. I love the artwork. I think it is so killer. It is so iconic. Probably my favorite Ted Nugent album cover. If not, in general, just one of my favorite rock and roll covers. That is just amazing. Whoever painted that picture, amazing. Love the artwork. Love the whole mentality. Love the gun guitar idea. It's just such a cool image. And I've always been drawn to that. And so anyway, I saw the album. I'm like, I don't have that one yet. So I grabbed it. And yeah, and it was in really clean condition. I did give it a quick little clean last night, which made it even shinier. So anyway, yeah, but the stuff was in decent condition for what it was, and for a couple extra bucks, I went ahead and grabbed that. So there you go, nice excursion. There was actually right around the corner from that one. There was another antique mall, but they actually were not open on weekdays. They were open like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that, and we were there on a Monday, so it didn't really work out to go to that. And there were some other ones in the area that I saw online, but by the time we went through this whole place, we were like, let's get something to eat. And we went to what I have discovered to be probably the best barbecue place ever that I've ever been to in town. And I wrote about it on Facebook, and I said, we have found the best barbecue place. I mean, I get barbecue everywhere I go. And I said, this place is the best. And then I started getting attacked and ridiculed by all my friends on Facebook who were like, what, you never been there before? They've been there for like 40 years. They've been there since I was a kid. And I'd never heard of them, but they were tucked away in Williamsburg. I never go to Williamsburg. As I was a kid, Williamsburg was so far away. Anyway, we had a great time though. People are like, what? You never been there? That place is famous. Well, anyway, I know about it now. It's tucked away, but it is a famous spot. That's it for this one though. Just some great stuff. Thanks a lot for watching. I will be back. Rock on and rock hard.